name is Margaret Dillon. In October of 2017, I had a stroke.
This is my story.
This is my story.
This is my story.
This is my story.
Today we're going to be doing a little bit more of a different segment. I'm starting this thing called Story Time. So this is my cousin Margaret, and she's going to tell you her story, and it's a good one, so pay attention. So what were your symptoms prior to having a stroke? Because obviously that's a big ordeal.
Yeah, so I started thinking that there was something wrong with me. I noticed issues with my memory, with comprehension. I was in school at the time, so somebody would give me a task and then they would have to repeat it several times before I understood what they wanted. I would have numbness in my limbs. Like if my foot went numb, I would have to use my hand to pick it up and move it if I wanted to get somewhere. So obviously that's really not normal. I would have awful headaches, and then my vision would go like entirely black for like 2 seconds, and then it would come back.
Okay, so when you first realized that you were having a stroke, what did you do?
I didn't know that I was having a stroke. I just knew that there was something really, really wrong with me. I woke up one morning and I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I can't go to class this morning. And she goes, why can't you go to class? And I was like, because I don't remember where my classes are. And you have to take a bus to get to classes on my campus. And she said, okay, well, just stay there and I think I'll come get you. And so she drove, and I live 4 hours away, so I had to wait 4 hours for my mom to come get me. And this whole time I just like stayed in my room and just like tried to keep really calm and not think about it. I like watched a lot of YouTube videos so I could be distracted.
At Liberty Vlogs.
Yeah, at Liberty Vlogs, you guys. So that was what I did until my mom got there. And then as soon as my mom got there, we turned right around and we went back to where I live. And it was another 4-hour drive back. And then we got home and I went right to sleep. I was really tired. I went right to sleep.
Alright, so obviously it was really hard telling your family this. Like they were probably really scared and stuff. How was that like telling your family? What did you do?
So I went to our family doctor, and my mom brought me, and we went into the office, and she was like, there's something really wrong with Margaret. And I was really loopy at this point. I mean, I was pretty much just like mid-stroke. And he gave me like some neurological exams. He had me do this one, which is a pretty common one, but I just went like this. I didn't understand how to do it. So he gave me some neurological exams, he gave me some physical exams, and he said, I think that there's really something wrong, and he said, Margaret, I think that you might have a brain tumor. And so then I went home with I thought in my head that I had a brain tumor, and I had to tell my brothers. My brothers were having a party at the time, and when they got home from the party, I just burst into tears, and I was like, I just talked to my doctor and he thinks that I might have a brain tumor. So I'm like just crying in the Ingalls parking lot, like sobbing.
So after you told your family, what happened from there? What was the next day like? What was it like?
So the next day, they scheduled me for an MRI, an emergency MRI. And I went in for the MRI. I had my clothes on, I didn't get a hospital gown, I didn't even bother with all of that. And I went in for the MRI. And that MRI I think took like maybe 30 minutes. It was a pretty short one. And then the doctor came back out and the neurologist was like, you've actually had a stroke. And at that point, nobody really knew what to say. It was really shocking. It was really strange. I think my doctors were pretty freaked out too by that information. It was a lot all at once. I don't remember it though, so I was fine with it. 'Cause like I said, I didn't remember any of it. It was great for me. I don't think it was fun for my family.
Not at all. And from like a family perspective, we were like down here in Atlanta when all this was happening, and we got the phone call that this was happening, so we rushed right up there, and you could tell that there was like a stress in the family, and she didn't know what the heck was going on. We walked in her hospital room, she was laying there like,
I was happy the whole time.
She was like doped up and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was great. It was good experience for me.
Yeah,
5 out of 5 stars.
But obviously everybody else it was a bombshell on everybody.
Yeah.
It was I mean, a 21-year-old doesn't just have a stroke,
Yeah. So then we pretty much launched headfirst into figuring out why I had a stroke. Ended up having a ton of tests. I was hospitalized for 10 days. And in that time I had one spinal tap, an angiogram. They did a brain biopsy on me to try to see if I had a brain cancer
You can
or
actually
some
still
sort
kind
of
of see
tumor.
the scar.
Yeah, I
Little
have
shaven.
a little shaven spot there. I had like a ton of IVs, lots of blood work was drawn. I remember like every night they would come in and draw blood, and I would be like faint when I got back because it was like just a lot of blood.
Oh, an angiogram.
And I had an angiogram, a spinal tap.
2 spinal taps.
Yeah, I ended up actually having the spinal tap redone because my general practitioner, he gave me some steroids because he thought it might help with the inflammation that night. And so I was on steroids when I had my first spinal tap done. So I waited until the steroids were out of my system and had another spinal tap done later. So that was novel.
Nice word.
Thank you.
That's the stroke vocabulary.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But then actually after having a brain biopsy, it got infected. So they had to go back in, and it was over Thanksgiving. Which
It was pretty brutal. I missed 2 major holidays. I missed Halloween and Thanksgiving. I was in the hospital for both of those. But luckily, I was home for Christmas, so that was really nice.
Here's the big question. Have you been diagnosed yet?
I actually got diagnosed yesterday. And I think that a lot of people would probably consider that to be almost depressing or stressful, but it was such a relief because my family and I have been through such a saga of finding a diagnosis. So ultimately, Stanford diagnosed me with moya moya, and it's been a huge relief. And I'm flying out to California this week, and my surgery is scheduled for Valentine's Day, so there's another major holiday, but I think hopefully it will be the last one I miss because of moya moya.
Any deficits right now? Any side effects that are still continuing?
So when I first had the stroke, I didn't know how to write the letters of the alphabet. I remembered the alphabet. I couldn't sign my name. I couldn't do a lot of things that you just really take for granted as a healthy person. A vision deficit on both of my peripheral visions. Peripheral.
So can you see how many numbers I'm holding up?
No. So basically it just means that I can't see things from the side, and then I have a deficit below my head. But it's really, I can see in front of me, and that's what you need to drive, and that's cognitive. I had a lot of problems with my memories at first. I couldn't remember my dog's name and things like that. So that was, emotionally, that was hard for me to feel like I was forgetting things, but really everything was coming back. It wasn't that I was forgetting, it was that I had forgotten and I was going to have to relearn. Mathematics were definitely the hardest thing for me. I definitely think that was the biggest chunk of knowledge that I lost. So when I first went to speech pathology the first day, I had to add things, and they asked me what is 1 + 1, and I was like, I don't know. I can't even, my brain can't wrap around that. I can't hold 1 long enough in my head to be able to add it to 1 more. By the way, it is 2.
Nice.
Yeah, I think carotids do, they hurt, they're kind of sore, and I'm scared to touch them and things like that. And you can't really exercise, or you just can't really have a full life.
This has got to be really hard on you emotionally and mentally. How is it affecting you?
I would say, as far as my emotions, I think it's been a lot harder on my family than it has been on me, because when they first started telling me all the stuff about my carotids were blocked or that I had a stroke, I don't remember being in the hospital the first 2 days I was in the hospital, so I don't remember those things. My mom had to go back and tell me the order of events, and we went to this doctor and then we went to this doctor and they said this. So honestly, I don't really remember it, and I'm glad I don't, because I never really experienced what I'm sure lots of other people experienced in the hospital, which is just crippling fear. But I didn't ever really experience that, so that was really good. I'm really enjoying starting to have my life back, and I think that the surgery is going to just really finish this journey for me. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get back into school. I'm excited to finally graduate from college, because I don't want to live a life where I haven't done that yet.
Thanks for watching the first ever story time. Margaret, thanks for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, if you guys want me to continue following Margaret's story and posting more videos, comment down that below. And if you guys like story time, make sure you comment down below and leave a thumbs up on this video. Also, keep hitting that subscribe button so we keep growing and making more content. So that's it for the first story time. Come back for the next vlog.
Keep watching Liberty Vlogs!
Oh!